Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have a question for you. Are you prepared for the incoming surge in terms of price action of XRP? Many analysts that I'm following think that it's going to be coming in short order, even if there happens to be a brief dip back down for XRP or perhaps the entire asset class, which is more likely what it would look like from what I'm seeing from analysts here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll answer for myself here. I'm prepared. I am prepared if this thing just takes off and we don't see these prices ever again. I'm fine. But I would prefer for one last leg down because I set one final stretch goal for myself, and I'm halfway accumulated what I need within that last little leg to get to that stretch goal. And so I would not hate if we see one little bump down. I would really not hate it, but then I'd be like, no more negative price action. Moon Lambo says no. So we shall see. And I don't pretend to know which way this is going because, to be clear, I don't have a financial background. I am not offering financial advice of any kind, and so you absolutely should not buy or sell because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to engage with the community and talk about this stuff and make YouTube videos. But I would like to know if you feel like you're sufficiently prepared. Like, I'm asking you, feel free to drop a comment below. It's a fun topic of conversation. If XRP takes off right now and we never see these price levels ever again, are you cool with that? Or are you going to be like, it's regretful because I didn't get to accumulate everything I want? I finally can state that I'd make peace with it, even though, again, like I said, I'd prefer for it to go down a little bit. Shout out to Crypto Hotep, who got this rare video, apparently, of Moon Lambo, that's me, buying the dip. There's a little video playing on the screen right now. Moon Lambo buying the dip, and here it is. For those of you not looking at the screen, it is a Lamborghini driving on under a boom gate. And what is a boom gate? Well, look, it's this Lamborghini in a parking garage. I was like, what are those little arm thing called that block cars? Like, what are those things called? So I Googled it. I Googled, what are the toll barriers in parking garages called? And they're called boom gates, or boom barriers. And now you know. See, look, I'm dropping the science on you on the Moon Lambo channel. Y'all learned something brand new that I bet the vast majority of it did not know when you woke up this morning. And you are welcome. That is kind of hilarious. Look at how low this freaking car is. It just cruises right under. Moon Lambo don't care. I pay no damn toll. That's funny. All right. Anyway, XRP is at 24.1 cents. Bitcoin is at $10,764. You've got the market cap at $340 billion. And Bitcoin dominance at 58.44% at the time I record this. And I would like to travel back to this video in 10 years so that we can all just gawk at how low these prices look now when we have like a multi-trillion-dollar asset class, right? We shall see. And so I watched a couple of videos as I was walking my pet peeve at the park earlier today. My pet peeve is my 5-year-old terrier mix. Her name is Peeve because I have a sense of humor, damn it. And I listened to a blockchain backer, and he was the first one that I listened to. And he still seems quite firm on the concept that, okay, maybe you go back down to where we already test for a double bottom, you know, like, what do we get down to, like 22.1 cents, something like that. But he seems to think it's actually more likely that, and he didn't say that it wouldn't happen, but he said it's more likely, in his opinion, that this thing's just going to take off. And the levels he had previously talked about was over 30 cents, and then from there, if you can breach, I can't remember exactly what level he said, it might have been like 32 cents or so, but once you breach that, it's just like, psh, that's the type of activity that can get you to some sort of parabolic price action. And one of the interesting things that he was talking about, and it's something that I've been bringing up on this channel in various videos, it's just this idea of what we saw happen in March. What did we see? We saw XRP crash down to about 11 cents on some exchanges, and that was because the crypto market was following what happened in the stock market. It's not like the fundamentals were suddenly horrendous, but people started panic selling, and then people that didn't know why those people were selling started panic selling, and so on and so forth, which is always how it goes. And it's just so funny because the volatility in and of itself, to me, is not a reason to sell. That's what I do for myself. That's not advice of any kind. I'm just sharing with you how I feel about it. Volatility in and of itself is not a reason to sell, but these people, like, again, this is just me acknowledging how humans behave. And being aware of that and choosing to not participate, I think will do well for me over the long haul. It's the same with the stock market. I'm just going to buy and hold. There really is something to that I firmly believe. But he was talking about this. He's like, okay, so what if there is another sell-off? Well, he doesn't think there's going to be a sell-off anytime soon because things have not gone remotely parabolic. He's citing that, you know, even to this point today, it's not like we're in sort of tremendous bubble territory, which is still interesting because you can bring up the point of, obviously, the level of unemployment, this and that, which is fair. But here was his take on it. And it's a fair point. I'll just share it with you. But a big point that he was making is that, so a lot of the companies that are going out of business right now, they're small businesses. They're not publicly traded companies. And so his argument was, in a nutshell, that that business going away, all of that business that would have flowed through to those smaller businesses that are not publicly traded, so you're not going to see it in the stock market, goes to larger companies, many of which will be publicly traded, and so that's just going to pump up the stock market further, which is certainly an interesting thing worth discussing. And so for a number of reasons, those reasons included, he doesn't see the stock market going down anytime soon, and that's why he doesn't think that we're going to see crypto drop anytime soon, unless you get that double bottom, which he acknowledges could happen. He doesn't seem to think it's as likely it's going to happen. And then I was watching a video today from DIY Investing, and he tweeted out earlier, who's ready for another leg down? Of course, he's talking about the crypto asset class price action, and I did respond earlier today, I most certainly am, and I would prefer it, selfishly. I would prefer, yes, that Moon Lambo, that selfish little bitch. Yeah, I know. But then I do want it to go up, and frankly, the macro trend is in place regardless. It is. But he still thinks, seriously, he's, over the last week or so, it seems to me, he's been becoming more so confident that we will see, way more likely than not, see this leg down. And he's talking about Bitcoin going down to, I think he said 9,000 or 9,100, it was somewhere thereabout. And he previously talked about XRP going down to maybe 20 to 21 cents, which to me would be fantastic, because that would be my final purchase, and then I'm just done. I'm just going to be like, okay, Matt, you have a spending problem with XRP. Clearly, we are going to tamp down on this. We got to be an adult, and then I would. I'm good at follow through in general, but that's what he's talking about happening there. And he stated, though, and this is why, to me, it's not something to be scared about regardless of what happens here. It really is not in the least, because the whole macro trend is still bullish, and that's what the analysts that I'm following, they all share that sentiment. So regardless of whether a blockchain backer is right about it being less likely that that we'll see some sort of double bottom, or if DIY investing is right and we do see a double bottom, they both agree that the trend is bullish, and regardless of whether or not that happens, and neither of them says definitively it's going to happen one way or another, it's still rosy looking pastures, right? And so look, I'll say this, outside of some sort of unforeseen thing, like obviously the vast majority of humans on the planet, who was predicting that there would be this global pandemic and then the United States, it would result in the drop in the stock market and crypto that did. So outside of some sort of really unforeseen thing, they very well may be right that this is just going to take off from there. And so that's why I was asking at the outside of the video, are you guys prepared if that is indeed the case? And who knows, maybe we will still have a good chunk of the rest of 2020 to keep purchasing. If that's, if you're in a position where you do still want to accumulate, maybe you'll still have some time here. Nothing is set in stone here. But they're not the only ones that are talking about it. I'm seeing analysts that are not only talking about XRP that are sharing these sentiments, which certainly catches my attention. It seems to me, that's the impression I have, that there are a majority of analysts that are saying more likely than not things are bullish, even if in the short term you see a little bit of negative price action. And so that's where you get to the stuff where, they keep saying DIY investing is calling for this parabolic run to make XRP run up to $20 to $30 per XRP. And blockchain backers talking about a range of $10 to $13. I'd be happy with either. Now, obviously, 20 to 30, that sounds a little better. I know that sounds a little bit better, but I'm just saying, if we get anywhere up there, my gosh. And so I just think, and so I ask myself this question as I'm thinking through this, do I believe, I ask myself this, do I believe that we will ever see XRP reach its previous all-time high of $3.84 according to CoinMarketCap? To me, the answer is, again, not financial advice, but my answer for myself is, yeah, I really do believe that for a ton of reasons. And then I go a step further and I say, okay, Mr. Moon Lambo, do you believe that after that happens, that we will ever enter price discovery for XRP ever again? Will we ever, as in, so, okay, we've broken past the all-time high, even just by a penny. The market sees that. Are we now going to see where this thing goes? Are people going to start throwing money in, FOMOing in this or that? Are we ever going to see that ever again? And for me, the answer is, I suspect yes, more likely than not. I just can't imagine that the greatest days are behind us in terms of XRP price action, when on pure speculation, XRP went from 20-something cents to almost $4 in a matter of a few weeks. I just cannot imagine that's it, especially when you consider the fact that XRP is a driver of utility thanks to the way that it's being positioned by various developers, most notably Ripple, obviously, building on top of the XRP ledger. So I'd be absolutely shocked if we don't ultimately see that happen. So it's food for thought, and I could not be more bullish regardless. I don't get shaken. I'm not going to get shaken out of this. And if I'm wrong, fine. I get it. Investing in crypto, including XRP, is risky, and it's highly volatile, blah, 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 blah. Got it. And I could lose everything. It could go to zero. But I could not be more optimistic. I am Mr. XRP Bull, and I sleep easy. I've put some real money into XRP. I most certainly have. And I'm not kidding. I just do not emotionally respond negative when price goes down. I've just been viewing it as buying opportunities, and I do not beat myself up for not being able to buy lows. I'm never going to be able to do that. Never, ever, ever. And I don't know when the parabolic action is going to happen. And so you know what? Here's the truth of the matter. This is true for the stock market also. The most awesome, fun price action that ever occurs, it's a small percentage of the time that passes. It's a very small percentage of the time. The vast majority, you're either going to be in downward price action or basically range-bound trading sideways. That's mostly what it's like. That's a day in the life for a crypto holder. The portion that's really super fun and exciting, it's a tiny percentage of what happens. Think about it. Think about what happened in 2017. Fine, it ran up, and it was early 2018 too a little bit, but it was just a few weeks. That's pretty much it. And then other than that, it was down. And think about it further. So that's a few weeks out of 1 year, basically, more or less. But it traded sideways before that, more or less, for years. And so the times when it does move up, they're rare. And so to me, for people that are going to find success, I again, not financial advice, but I think that you have to hold. And for a very long time, and you can't be one of those people that's like, it's not moving on my schedule. I want it to move faster, and the faster price needs to happen now, and it hasn't, so I'm going to sell. If you're one of those people, sorry, you're going to miss it. Just like I saw people saying the same thing before the run-up from 20-something cents to almost $4, and damn, they missed out on the biggest XRP bull run in history. I'm not going to be one of those. I'm just going to make sure that I'm well-positioned, understand that the volatility means nothing. This is just how humans behave, and they influence the price, and I'm just going to sit there and hold. And it's that simple. And in the meantime, I get to hang out with all of you, which makes it way more fun because I don't have people in my real life to talk about this with. So I'm so thankful for the XRP community so we can all talk about it. I love engaging in the comment section and on the Twitters. So feel free to drop a comment below, but that is it for this hot jam. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.